Okay, today is a nice Saturday. We're going to build the frittata. And these frittatas, we're going to build them for 3 different people. One for a nice little girl, one for the papa bear, and one for the mama bear. So we're going to try to lean one of these real hard towards the carnivore diet. Carnivore diet has done very good for us, and it is heavily based on meat, eggs, and cheese. So all kinds of different meats. Today I'm going to talk about the beauty of the egg. There are 20 amino acids out there in the world, and 9 of those amino acids are essential. You got to have those amino acids for your body to function properly, and the egg has 18 out of the total of the 20 amino acids, and it has the 9 that are essential. Special acids for digestion, for fighting disease, for your brain and how it works. And so the egg has got 9 of those essential ones, and it's got 9 more that are, I'm going to say non-essential, but they're still very usable by your body. So you're looking at quite the miracle that the Lord has produced here with the chicken egg. These are farm fresh chicken eggs. You can see we got a big rack of them here, and they just come flying in every day. We get about a dozen eggs a day from the farm. A couple of those we go to our puppies and mix it in with their puppy food. A couple of them get served up the window, fast food to the large dogs, a little pinch of salt on the shell. They eat the shell, the white, the yellow, all of it. But the eggs are an outstanding source of protein. They have all kinds of vitamins. They get vitamin A, which is excellent. And like I say, the amino acids. And the protein is good. It's in both. It's in the yellow and in the white. Doctors for years have tried to tell us that that's causing a cholesterol problem, and that'll cause you to have all kinds of heart problems. And now, guess what? The doctors have decided that that is no longer correct. Our carnivore doctors, some of which are real cardiologists that have to open people's chest up each week and go in and put in bypasses and try to repair them, they are having a real problem with people that are eating starchy, high carbohydrate diets, and it's not the eggs and it's not the red meat causing the problem. It's all the other things that they're eating, the processed foods and the high starchy foods. So today, although we're going to focus on cooking this nice meal for you, I will also bring up some tips about the carnivore diet. So as you can see, 2 of the things carnivore today, we are using these jalapeno and cheddar Echlin sausage, Eckrich sausages, Eckrich. These come from our local dollar store. Same way with our Monterey Colby cheese there. We've got a nice 1/2 pound of high quality ground beef that we get from a local feed store. So the very first step is when you're making a frittata, all your components of the frittata need to be cooked. So let's start off with these nice little hot dogs. We're going to get them cooked up, and I want them, they need to be brown. My wife is very big on browning these. We're going to put a little bit of butter in here. Let's get that going. A little bit of butter. We don't want to get too much because it can brown too much. We don't want to get this real brown. But just a little bit of butter. See if I can do that one-handed. This is the beauty of the one-handed camera job. Yes, we got it going on with one hand. Okay. Some resting meat butts right there. The frittata, the other thing I like about the frittata is it is a very easy dish to cook. You can use whatever you want. You are not limited to only using meat You can add some other things. Some of these today are going to have some nice bell peppers and some other things added to it. But this first one that we're doing, we're leaning pretty heavy towards carnivore. Let's go ahead and get that nice half a pound of lean ground beef. This is a nice 80-20, so it's not definitely not we're not trying to go fat-free. On carnivore, fat is your friend because you're training your body. You're eating lots and lots of protein and lots of fat. And you're training your body to get used to burning fat. That's what ketosis is. Ketosis means you're getting sugar out of your system, starches out of your system. And the more you do that, pretty soon your body will switch over to ketosis. You can even buy little strips to do a urinalysis, and it has different colors ranging from almost clear, a little bit yellow, and then a little bit oranger up to a darker brown color. And the darker the color is, when you pee on the strip, it lets you know you're doing a fantastic job of getting sugar and starchy things that turn into sugar. See, rice, oatmeal, potatoes. You're not going to see me put a bunch of potatoes in this, and I'm not beating other people up. If they want to have potato hash brown frittatas, that's fine. That's up to them. This is America. We have lots of liberty and lots of freedom still. So we're going to get this brown. I want this to be fairly fine chopped. I'm just cutting it up with my spatulosis here. And that's going along pretty quick. That won't take too much longer. It'll be done. Again, we'll fast forward a little bit on this. So, again, when you're doing the frittata, you want to cook everything except for your scrambled eggs. You're cooking and cooking and cooking everything. So all your components will be done, and then you will be just basically blending the scrambled eggs in this nice dish right here with your components. And that's all you got to do. And then it's going to make what looks kind of like a pizza. And we're going to try to invert that. Hopefully it'll work out. Some of these frittatas I cooked today of the three are going to have all the components. They're going to have everything. They're going to be common to every one of them. They all will have the little meat buttons here, the little sausage. They'll all have some beef. They'll all have cheese. They'll all have eggs. But some of them are going to have, I'm going to make one very spicy. It's going to have jalapeno. It's going to have cayenne pepper on the top. And it's even going to have some Mexican sprinkly red hot sauce. So that'll be a lot of fun. So now you can see we've got the hamburger meat cooked. We've got the little sausage links that were cut up into little meat buttons. We've got them browned and blackened. So our next step is, not everybody wants to have the bell pepper. So here's what we're going to do on that. We will lay this right here, and let's caramelize our onions. Let's just do the onions. Onions alone. This makes it a little bit more complicated. And you don't have to do it this way. You could make you some where they're all the same, or like I say, I'm cooking for 3 different people. So now there's our onions. This is a high-tech paper plate. I love buying paper plates. I feel like a rich man. I'll spend about $6 or $7 at the dollar store and come home with 85 nice, colorful paper plates. Say, why do you do that? Well, that's 85 times that I can enjoy a plate full of food or serve it up to somebody else to be a blessing to them and don't have to wash it. It goes right into the wood stove and produces some BTUs for our home. So our wood stove is the dishwasher for these bad boys. So here we go. We are still on number 5. Don't want to burn our butter. So we're going to caramelize these onions. When you caramelize onions, it just puts a lot more flavor in them. Onions are pretty flavorful already, but this really makes them have a nice rich flavor. The butter, of course, adds something to them. And here's where we're going to bust out the salt and pepper. I do want a little pinch of this Himalayan. I do hold this up. I can hold that up and let it fall down over my arm like that so it looks a little more serious. See, that's serious cooking there. And then our black pepper, a little touch of that black pepper. You don't hold your elbow out on the black pepper, just drop it from heaven above. One more little pinch of salt, not too much. Now that is another secret weapon of carnivore people, is that we believe in eating lots of salt, because your salt is not as bad as what doctors once thought. As soon as we get switched over to carnivore and you're in the ketosis setting, then what happens is you need to really work your electrolytes over. You need to drink a lot of water, and you need to eat a lot of salt, but don't eat the store-bought regular old salt, because they put a lot of chemicals they add in with the salt to keep it from caking. Sometimes MSG and other things, and you don't want that in your body. Not good for you. That's what has been linked to some heart problems with salt. That, and they'll add a whole bunch of iodine and other things to it that you just don't need as part of your electrolyte package. So again, for our carnivore viewers, make sure that you're getting plenty of salt. Some people like the LMNT, which is a component you can buy, little packets of that. It's a little bit more spendy than table salt, that's for sure, but it has some other components in it. So now we've got our onions. Let's let those caramelize out just a few more minutes, and we want them to get where they're really nice and tender, but they get a little bit browner. And again, we'll do a little speed control on this. Speed it up here. So those onions are now done. Let's get them out of the picture. We'll lay them aside. My wife is going to want those onions in hers. The little girl is going to want them in hers. And there's our onions. We'll leave a few behind so they can say hi to their friends. So the next friendship here that we're going to have is these bell peppers. Now this is an orange bell pepper. These are nice quality. These orange bell peppers. Get them right out there into the heat. Put this other stuff back a little bit. We'll spread. We got a little bit of butter left. We might as well get this butter into the mix. You can't go wrong with butter. It's the fall, and the only thing that your body can tell you is I'm starving to death, because it sees blood sugar falling, so you start eating a lot more starchy stuff. French fries, onion rings, hamburgers, and desserts, pies, cakes, ice cream, and milkshakes, and then you're on a roller coaster, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. So to avoid all that, you go the carnivore route, and what you eat is meats, eggs, cheese, things that are very high in protein, things that are very high in fat, fish, tuna, shrimp, salmon, anything that comes from an animal is what you're eating. And we do cheat a little bit because we use some spices. I use a little cayenne. That's not from an animal. We do use some onions and some garlic sometimes, not from an animal. So we enjoy life, but we do avoid starchy stuff. Now there's a little bit of carbs in this, and if you were going to be a carnivore person and you want to cheat a little bit, you could use just a tablespoon of these to mix up your flavors and the colors, and that would be fine. That's not going to hurt you. Now if you're a pure carnivore person, you want to avoid everything on that plate, you would leave out. But we are not pure carnivore. So what's the next thing that we can cook? Well, let's take a look. The only thing left is our jalapenos. So let's throw them out here. And then we are almost ready to put this thing together. Now, once you get these cooked, and you could have all these cooked and prepped in advance. There's nothing saying that you have to do all this at one time. To make this easier, you could, in theory, you could cook all this stuff up and have it in little dishes, some little stainless steel dishes or little Tupperware dishes, or even just covered covered up on a paper plate. Okay, got those eggs all whipped up, and here's what we're doing on this. I kind of want this to have a display look to it. So I put the little meat buttons. The sausage is all facing down. It's on the very bottom, and we put the hamburger meat in there. And what I added to this, just so that you know, I didn't have the cup of heavy cream like they call for. So I use this product right here. This is made out of cream and 4 cheeses, and it also has a little bit of butter in it too. So that's going to be a really good flavor and provide that fluffy texture that eggs get when you add cream. You could add milk if you wanted to, but we just wanted to add the cream because we had it available. And this is not going to be super thick because it doesn't have the bell peppers in it, but it should still do good. I'm hoping I can get those little meat buttons to sink to the bottom. They're not made out of wood, so they should be okay. Let's double check them and see if they float. No, they did not float. So they're good. I want the placement of them a certain way. We've got the hamburger. We've got all that. And now we need some cheese. Okay, and now we've got our cheese in place. So this first one will be our guinea pig, and it will get cooked now. So let me go ahead and stick that in the oven. Get back Dogger. We got doggers that are trying to help. We'll add a little Parmesan cheese at the end. And let's see, let's get a timer set on that. We want to do 15 minutes exact at 350. Now I did preheat this oven very well. It's been preheating running for about an hour because I was busy doing all the other prep stuff. So let's go ahead and we'll build our next one here just in a second. Okay, here's the first beautiful little baby right out of the oven. And I'm real happy with this one because it came out, it shrank a little bit. It fluffed up out of the oven. The oven aired it up a little bit, which is normal. And then it really came loose nice. They won't always do this, I'm sure. But we're going to try to do this. Just turn it over and let's have a look and see what it does. This is going to be crazy. Okay, crazy is as crazy does. There's my craziness. Let's get this on the plate. Wow, that's too hot for the hands. Let's get it where it's, there we go. Now we got a beautiful frittata. The little meat button showed through a little bit like I wanted. Now let's try this. This is absolutely crazy. Look at this great big old crazy thing. It's for a child. If you do this properly, you don't have to cut your plate in half. Just do it kind of softly, real softly. That way you've got portions, and if the child doesn't eat it all, you can put it back for later. And there we go. Let's see if those are separatable. I think they are. Let's have a look. Oh, look at that. Now that's a pretty nice looking. Now you could add more eggs to that if you wanted it to be a little bit thicker. Kind of looks like pizza, doesn't it? So we're going to put a little air space so the child can, this little girl, she's remaining anonymous. She's waiting on her breakfast over there at the table. That looks like a quiche. It does look like a quiche without a crust. So that's what we got. We're going to put the little one right in the middle. Let's move that over like that and put that right there. And I bet she will eat that. So we're going to deliver this to her and let her eat. Be right back and we'll get that super hot one out. Okay, here we go on the last one. And this last one is going to be serious hot. This is my spicy one. You can see I got the chopped up jalapenos in there. And we've got the eggs. This is 4 farm fresh eggs. And I added, I'm going to say about 3 or 4 tablespoons of the Italian white sauce. It has 4 different cheeses. I used it because I needed cream, and that's the only source of cream. You could just use heavy cream, but that's kind of the beauty of the frittata is a lot of times, I don't want to say you throw everything but the kitchen sink because you don't want to put fish in there. You don't want to, well, you might want it, but there's some things that just don't agree good with this quiche type dish. This is like quiche without a crust. That's what frittata is. So I'm checking these little meat buttons and making sure they are down. They're not made of wood, but I really want them to stay close to the bottom so that when we take this out of the pan, my goal is to be able to flip this and have it where it looks pretty and be able to see those little meat buttons. So there's the last piece of cheese. I did add just a little bit of Parmesan to the mix, and we'll sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan right at the end. Okay, and here we are with the last one. Now this one is the Papa Bear, and boy, when I took it out right there in the middle of that cheese, that was puffed up like crazy, and I'm sure it was only the cheese. All right. So now to make this spicy, I didn't do this a while ago before I cooked it because I really wanted to be able to measure this. So we're going to give it a little bit of cayenne. Just a little bit of cayenne all around the world here. That's quite a bit, but that's okay. And then a little bit of this guy here. Tapatio Salsa Picante Hot Sauce. So now we're going multicultural here. This is a good old frittata, which is Italian style, and it's cooked in America. And then we got some Mexican hot sauce. We got some jalapenos from probably down South America. We got some sausage from the dollar store. Let's do one more kick up. I like flavors, boy. I am big on flavors. Look at that. Frijo, shredded Parmesan cheese. So let's put a little of that on there. We're going to turn this thing into a pizza yet. Ah, look at that. That's starting to look like a frittata. This is a frattata. Most people eat frittatas, but I put enough jalapenos. It's got jalapenos. It's got cayenne pepper on the top and tapatio. So that's a frittata. Not the same thing as a frittata, okay? And I'll be right back. I'll give this to my wife. Hey, the very last step is let this shrink just a little bit. I let it sit for just a couple of minutes, and you can see that. Look at that thing. See it moving? See the gap? Now watch, no gap. See no gap? The gap on that side? It's moving. It's wiggling. That means it ain't not stuck. Boom! Now we got the pretty side. I thought that the meat buttons were going to show through and make that look like something fantastic, but it did not work that way. So here we go with the cutter. Pizza cutter on a paper plate. Is that even legal? It is. That's legal in all 57 states. So there's another cut. You got to go easier. You cut your plate in half. But that plate allows a special liberty to be able to really cut that you'll never be able to do with a glass plate. A little wiggle. Separate those. Now watch this. That's going to be my serving plate. And we're going to take a slice of this. Golly, look at that. Now I'm telling you, that's a frattata. Not frittata. This one is a frattata. Why is it frattata? Because it's got jalapeno, got cayenne, and then it's got the tapatio Mexican hot sauce. I'm just putting airspace on this so it'll cool down enough where I can put that down the hatch, because that's some, I'm telling you, that's some good looking stuff right there, boy. Let's get this middle one because it's got a really dark meat button. Now, if you're a hungry man, hungry lady, and you wanted something delicious, there it is right there. The frittata. Frittata with the T if you don't use hot sauce. And if you use jalapenos, cayenne pepper, and tapatio, then you got frittatas. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please consider the carnivore diet. This is not pure carnivore, but my wife's was pretty close. Stay with the stuff from the animal, which is your milks and your cheese, your meats, and eggs, and that's a lot closer to pure carnivore. But we would really appreciate the tap there on the like and subscribe button, and keep coming back. We'll make some more interesting breakfast. This was a very super easy meal. So hope you enjoy it, and over and out for now.